test mic. Okay, this is kind of how this will be my meditative voice. Thank you. Good morning. My name's Mel Hirsch. I'm one of a dozen licensed professional practitioners here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Prescott, Arizona. This is a time of meditation for us, whether you are looking at us on a screen or whether you're in the room. We know that this is an act of making a shift from human doing, you know, the one that got us here and drove the car and looked in the mirror this morning real early and decided, is that me, before I put a lot of work into it? And then the day unfolded. And we remembered to remember why we are here. And that is to once again experience our highest self, that which turns into reality the fact that we are indeed created in the image and likeness of God, of Spirit, by whatever name you choose to call it. So as we move from human doing to human being, if it's comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes and take a few deep and gentle breaths with me, taking in the newness of this day and beginning to release from our body and our mind that which it no longer needs. If you care to rub your feet along the floor, slip off your shoes if you care to. Let your stomach relax, nobody's watching. And just realize with me that there is nothing for us but spirit for the next hour. The human doing is taking a break. And the human being is reaching out with our minds and our hearts to join with our piece of the divine that was always there. So this morning we're going to look at some of the words that may have a different meaning for us. For example, many of us grew up with the idea of heaven and hell, particularly hell. Hell is not a place. We don't accept it. In Judaism, it is spoken that hell is something we create right here between our ears on this planet through our life. And as we also examine another word, let that word be sin. Sin for many has been defined as something really bad, unless it was just a little lie or a little cheating on something or a little disparaging of another. And then we kind of gave ourselves a break and forgave it. But we also understand that sin can be redefined as a mistake. Small mistake, large mistake, doesn't make much difference really. We are not punished by our mistakes or our sins or our errors. We are punished by them because we believe in a reciprocal universe. In other words, what goes around comes around. And every mistake shall show itself up as a consequence, be it small or large. So in this time where we have decided to take a break from the daily activities and contemplate how our life is right now, let us examine a mistake. Pick one. It could be a large one, a huge one. It could be a little one. And when this mistake is acknowledged, how can we counteract it? How can we look at and see how the mistake created a ripple and affected another being, human or otherwise? Or how did it affect a principle that we affirm, that we believe in? And now I invite you to examine what a contrary behavior might be to whatever it was that created that mistake within your mind. we speak of atonement. We also speak of at-one-ment, being at one with the highest self, with the divinity that resides within us. That oh so wise counselor, supporter, inspirer, what might we be inspired to think and do to atone for that mistake? In this community, one of our core values is the love that is spoken here. What form of love in action can you bring to the field in which that mistake was made? Within the next few hours of what we call time, what would you affirm that you will think and say to yourself that will let your entire being know that you are bringing the power of love to that situation? And so long as you are committed to bringing the power of the love that has always been there inside of you, inside of me, inside of them, forgiveness of self follows. Allow yourself to take that in and to decide to believe it. That forgiveness of self is upon this situation. Begin to once again rub your feet along the ground, the floor. Slowly open your eyes. Remember what this room looks like. And make a choice to send that love that resides within out. Whether it is someone you can look around and see, or whether it is someone that is there in your mind's eye. Take in another breath of newness. And release what needs to be let go of. That the divine within can continue to do this work for you. And with great gratitude, just allow a smile to come across your face. Namaste.
Good morning. Thank you, Mel, for that beautiful pre-service meditation. And welcome everyone to the Centers for Spiritual Living, Prescott, Arizona. Welcome to all of you here in the sanctuary and to all of you online. I have a few announcements. As you enter the sanctuary, please be aware of the camera in the back of the room. If you need to cross that spot, please duck down. Heart rides remain available to provide transportation to and from service for those who need it. Contact Nina Rochette. Her number and information is in front of you. And lastly, we have coming up an Enneagram Workshop. This is a workshop to explore your personality type. It will be on September 11th, a Saturday, from 12:30 to 5:30. And Reverend Z. Egloff and Reverend Melissa Felipe will conduct, and they will also do the talk and music that Sunday, the 12th. So mark your calendars. Thank you, and enjoy the service.
Good morning. My name is Mel Hirsch. I am one of a dozen active practitioners here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Prescott, Arizona. We practitioners are the folk who teach and pray and serve. And for you, we remember to remember. So that having been said, I believe we love to open our service with prayer. And so let us invoke the presence of the divine right here and right now. Spirit was in this room waiting for us when we walked in. It was waiting for you if you are on a screen and you approached your screen. There is love spoken here because we are here for God as we understand God. We are here to examine our thoughts and to create some new ones to replace those that no longer serve us. And this morning is going to be yet another step along that journey. For how it unfolds, I give thanks in advance, knowing what a joy, a pleasure, and a privilege it is to worship that which we seek. I release this into the universe, into the divine right timing of whatever we call God, and simply relax. Let it be. And we set that by saying, and so it is.
So it is. Hi, everybody. I know I don't look like it, but I am Jackson this morning. He's a little taller, but I am going to fill in for him. They're big shoes to fill, but we're going to have some good times. So, you know this one. Would you like to sing? Okay, good. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. We've got a lot of love, we're gonna let it shine. We've got the light of love, we're gonna let it shine. We've got the light love. We're gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. What? Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Thank you so much, Celia. It is so much fun to have this time with you to play, and we don't have the responsible adult with us, so we get to do whatever we want today. Poor Jackson, he has to be the responsible adult in the room, mostly because he's not in the room. My name is Reverend Kathleen Sibley. It is my joy to minister to you all today. Please know that whoever you are, whatever judgments you had when you first looked in the mirror this morning, you are entirely welcome here this morning, just as you are and just as you are not, because we know that we're all here by divine appointment. And in these very tumultuous, we never know what tomorrow is going to look like times, it's important that we stay strong in our faith and that we have the help of our community to support us in staying strong in our faith that God really is all there is, and that there are other faces of God in the world who can remind us if we forget. So we do have a group of people whose job it is, whose career it is, whose calling it is to help us remember. And that is the dozen or so licensed professional practitioners that were just spoken of. They teach and they pray. Keep your eye out for the next calendar of classes that will start in the fall. And definitely, if you have never experienced one-on-one prayer, please call one of the practitioners. Please, they spent about 5 years, and I don't even know how much money, learning how to do this work. And if you don't call, it's really sad. So you are not bothering them. What your issue is not too unimportant to be prayed about. It is what they're waiting for you to do. So we'll keep our practitioners happy by coming to them and letting them work miracles for us, right? They can work miracles for me. How's that? I'll take it. If you are online, then I invite you to check out the website on which you can see the faces and contact information for all of our practitioners, not all of whom are here in Arizona right now. One of them lives in Las Vegas. So we cover multiple time zones. How cool is that? There are so many great ways to participate in the body of the divine known as a congregation, known as a spiritual group. And so there are many, many different ways of doing that, and we honor all paths to God. So I will ask our ladies to stand up. The Center for Spiritual Living honors all faith traditions. As we light a candle for the world's religions, it is to acknowledge both our multiplicity and our unity.
We light a candle for Christianity, based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within.
For Islam, the practice of submitting to the will of God as revealed through his prophets, peace be upon them, who taught that there is one God, creator of the heavens and the earth.
For Judaism, a community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties, which began with a covenant between Abraham and God.
For Buddhism, the middle path that ends suffering and awakens mindfulness and compassion.
For Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion.
For the Native American and indigenous traditions, as we say locally, those who walk the good red road, including the people of the sun that we know as the Yavapai.
For Baha'i, the path of unity and peace.
For all of the goddess traditions, embracing the divine feminine as maiden, mother, and crone.
And for the science of mind, which is the philosophy of life that teaches there is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it.
Beautifully done, thank you. There is also our personal truth that we affirm every Sunday. And so I'll ask you to say it with me now, mindfully. We are here for God. Our purpose is to express the nature of God as love, abundance, and joy in everything we do. The good that we seek for ourselves is what we desire for all people everywhere. And so it is. Go, Celia.
Would you like to sing again? I am enough. You are enough. We are enough. Just in that we are. I have enough. You have enough. We have enough. Just in that we are. I am enough. You are enough. We are enough. Just in that we are. I have enough. You have enough. We have enough. Just in that we are. And we we are. I am enough. You are enough. We are enough. Just in that we are. I have enough. You have enough. We have enough. Just in that we are.
Just as we are, we have enough. There's enough love in this room to go around the entire world and have it come back multiplied, because that's how it works. So let us celebrate an act of love that we shall enter into today. Perhaps it is something that you have been meaning to resolve and realize that the power of love completely trumps the love of power. Contemplate that thought for just a moment, and as you do so, begin to decide, or just decide, how you might apply that in the next hours of what we call time. So if you care to just kind of rub your feet along the floor, if your eyes are closed, gently open them. Look around the room or look at your own reflection and look for the love there. Namaste.
Yeah, you could introduce me. I was wondering, how's that going to work? Feels really good. I'm sorry. Hi, everyone. Hi. It's good to be back. I wrote this song, and this song I don't think I've ever performed live in front of an audience before. It's been a while since I wrote it, too. It's called The Last Time, and for me, it's about remembering to make the person in front of me more important than the situation or the story or the topic, and how precious our time together truly is. If I had known it was the last time, I would look you in the eye. If I had known it was the last time, I would hold you while you cried. If I had known it was the last time, we would say goodbye. If I had known it was the last time, I would have stayed a little longer. I would have made better choices and been stronger. I would have reached out for your hand. I would have taken the time to understand. If I had known it was the last time. If I had known it was the last time, you would grace this place. If I had known it was the last time, we would share a warm embrace. If I had known it was the last time, I would see your face. If I had known it was the last time, I would have held you a little tighter. I would have reminded you that you're a fighter. I would have searched for the sublime in all the little ways that you shine. If I had known it was the last time. 'Cause life is so precious and love is so rare. Wasting my time on all the little things that don't matter at all. 'Cause life is so precious and your love is so rare. If I had known, if I had only it was the last time. If I had known, if I had known, if I had known, if I had only known, if I had known, if I had known, it was the last time.
So the gentleman who is doing our talk today doesn't really need an introduction because he is beloved in this community. And his name is Eugene Holden. So we are blessed to have him today.
Good morning, my beautiful brothers and sisters at Centers for Spiritual Living Prescott. This is your brother Eugene Holden here, and I am so very, very happy to be with you today. So I just want to jump right into this. So the theme of the month is a pause for guidance. Pause for guidance. And today's talk title is called A Playful Pause. So a pause for guidance is about taking the opportunity to stop and smell the roses. And it seems like it's a difficult thing these days, right? Because we are so busy trying to get things going after being experiencing something different for the past year and a half with COVID and shutdowns and social distancing and sequestering in our homes and all of that, quarantining. I think I like the word sequestering better. It sounds more sequesterish. And so now that we are coming out just a little bit more, we may find that we are getting busier and busier, right? If not, actively on the physical plane, well, absolutely within the head. We continue to hear, stories about, wars and political turmoil that goes on and on and on. That's just, how that goes. And then, we hear about, a new strain of the coronavirus, the Delta variant, and so we are hearing all of this, and this activity is happening, and sometimes we feel that we have to keep going. We have to go, we have to go, we have to go, we have to do, we have to go, we have to do, we have to go, right? Well, we want to get to a point, we want to come to the realization that at some point, it's time to take a pause. It's time to take a breath and smell the roses. It's time to stop and smell the roses. Oh, Eugene, I don't have time to smell the roses. I have this to do. I have that to do. That's going to be there. And so that it's going to be there, don't you want to bring your best self to whatever it is? Of course you do. Of course you do. And how do we bring our best selves to that? To whatever activity that we are going to engage in or that we are engaging in? We want to pause for the guidance. Now, I had a mentor who said that we are not human doings. We are human beings. Right? So how many times have you found yourselves throughout the day doing? We have our to-do list, and I have one too. Got to do this, got to do that, got to do this, got to do that, got to do this, got to do that, got to do this, got to go, got to do, got to go. It reminds me of the rabbit in Alice in Wonderland. I'm late for a very important date. No time to, we got to just, we want to stop doing and going and going and doing and doing and going. We want to come to the space where we get to just pause. Pause. As we pause for the guidance, we allow ourselves to be open and receptive and available to hear the guidance. I have facilitated many visioning sessions throughout the years. And I always find it interesting when after that process is done, that some people will say, okay, what do we do next? What do we do next? Well, let's get busy, right? Well, maybe it's not time to get busy. In fact, oftentimes after a visioning process, it is not time to get busy. It's time to let the vision of spirit settle in. So when we take the opportunity to pause for the guidance, again, we open up ourselves to hear what the direction is. Dr. Ernest Holmes says, there is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. Now, in order for me to really embody that, I need to pause with that. I need to take the time to feel into that. I mean, when we take it line by line, there is only one life. There's only one life. There is only one life. Yeah, there's only one life. And that one life is expressing as all of life. Every activity that's happening around us is an expression of the one life. The birds flying through the air, the songs that the birds sing, our ears picking up the song of the bird. There's only one life. And that life is God's life. Now, God's life, it can be love's life, it can be Grace's life, whatever works for you, whatever word works for you, right? That life is perfect. I love this one. That life is perfect. No, Eugene, there's nothing perfect. Says who? Who taught us to believe that there's nothing perfect? Who taught us to believe that there's no one person but one? Come on. We get to requalify what that word perfect means for us. One of the definitions in the dictionary for perfect is whole and complete, meaning that there's nothing missing. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. Even in our seeming imperfections, that's perfect. That's perfect. So we want to requalify what that word means. That's why we want to take time to pause for the guidance. Be guided to what that word means for you. That life is perfect. That life is my life. That life is your life. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is that life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life. That life is your life now. Stop, pause, be guided. What does that mean to you? That the life of God is your life. Man, that is an amazing, powerful statement when we take time to pause for the guidance of what that means. Let's take another one of his well-known quotes. There is a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. There is a power in the universe for good. Let's just stop there, right? There's a power in the universe for good. There's a power in the universe for good. There is a power in the universe for good. So this power surrounds us. Check this out. This power animates your body temple. Pause and feel into that. Wow, that same power for good that's in the universe. There's a power for good in the universe. Oh, and it's within me? Isn't it good that your heart beats? Isn't it good that you take a breath? So when we look at that line, just that part, there's a power for good in the universe, that we are the universe. That we are not only in the universe is within us. We are the universe. So there is good, there's a universal good within each and every one of us right here and right now. There's a power for good in the universe greater than we are. Greater than we are. And we can use it. We get to use that power. So this is why it's important to cultivate a practice of pausing for the guidance. I will always remember this experience I had. Many years ago, had my own business as a massage therapist. Business was going great until it wasn't. And I was making my cold calls, I was putting out flyers, I was doing everything that I could do to bring the business back, right? And one day, I get up off of my couch, get ready to go do something. I gotta go do something. And I heard the voice of Spirit say, just don't do something, sit there. Now, usually we hear, just don't sit there, do something. Not this time. It was just don't do something, sit there. So I sat. And I sat. And I breathed. And I paused. And the guidance came. And the guidance said, now get up and go here. And I get up and I go there. And I walk into this establishment, and there's a person behind the counter, a friend of mine. And as I walk in, she goes, hold on, I think I have the perfect person. Handed me the phone. I say, hello, this is Eugene. And the next thing you know, I'm on my way to a whole different career, right? Which afforded me so much more. Now, had I not listened to that voice that said, just don't do something, sit there, I wouldn't be here right now talking about it. How profound it is when we take the opportunity to pause for the guidance. But I know we are so surrounded by so many things that are going on. But what we want to do is we want to cultivate the practice of sitting and tapping into the guidance from deep within. Now, pausing for the guidance doesn't have to be an arduous thing. It doesn't have to be, I got to sit down and pause because Eugene said I need to sit down and cultivate a practice of becoming still and pausing so that I can hear the guidance. It doesn't have to be like that at all. It doesn't have to be like that at all, right? Besides, I can't tell you what to do. I'm not the boss of you. You are the boss of you. You are the one who gets to say who and what you are. And you get to say who and what you get to do and who you get to be, right? I'm just here to facilitate the process. So what we want to do then is get into a playful pause. We want to get into a playful pause. And so a playful pause can look like anything, right? So when we're busy doing what we're doing, right? Stop. Take the time to call a friend. Hey, you want to go play some dominoes? Hey, you want to go take a walk around the block? Hey, and make it playful. Make it playful. Scripture says, unless ye be like a child, will ye enter the kingdom of heaven. And of course, the kingdom of heaven is always within, which means that you are the sovereign ruler of your kingdom, queendom, right? So when we make it a playful pause, what we're talking about is taking the time to enjoy life. I believe that there are many things written in the Old and New Testament that have been misinterpreted. Yes, I said it, misinterpreted. For example, it is written in the book of Genesis where it said, and God said, let there be light. I believe the interpretation was, and God said, lighten up. It's not that serious. Why? Because there is a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. This power that's in the universe, that's for good, that we get to use, wants us to, it's already provided everything for us. We have been set up, you have been set up, we have been set up to not only survive and to live, we have been set up to thrive, and to thrive in an abundant way, right? To thrive and to live life from on high. So when we take the time for a playful pause, Man, playing is a wonderful thing. You ask any musician, if they're not having fun. I love being a musician. I love musicians because when we talk about, playing music, it's like, hey, let's go play some music. Let's go play. Let's go play. Hey, I'm getting ready to go play. Right? And it's a joy-filled thing. So you don't have to be a musician to play. Just be your beautiful, authentic, playful self. Find the time, take the time to skip. When was the last time any of you skipped? I mean skip. Right? So take the time to skip. Take the time to laugh a lot. That's taking a playful pause. Right? So what we want to do then is to breathe. And then when you hear that guidance, after that playful pause, after we pause for the guidance, then we want to allow ourselves to be divinely guided. We want to allow ourselves the opportunity to hear what that voice says, to listen to what that voice from within says, and then get into action at the time that the guidance says so, right? And then as we do that, more and more and more, as we listen to that voice more and more and more, that voice will speak to us more and more and more. So what are we doing now? We are cultivating a practice of listening. This is why I love the visioning process, because it really is a practice in listening. Because in the visioning process, as some of you may know, there's a question that's asked, and then what we are doing is listening and taking dictation from what we hear, or seeing whatever Spirit gives to us in pictures or symbols or words, right? So what we want to do as we are, pausing for the guidance, we want to hear what that guidance is, and then when it's time to take action with the guidance. Take action from that guidance. But then this is the other thing, to know and to always know that you are guided aright. Eugene, how do I know which voice is guiding me? Great question. I'm glad you asked. You can always tell which voice it is, because there's the voice of the divine intelligence within us, and then there's the voice of the egoic self. Oh my goodness, I love the ego. Now, let me speak about this just briefly. The ego is not to be crushed. Now, at the same time, it's not to be given the keys to the car. It's not to sit behind the wheel of the bus. We need to put it in its rightful place. So how do we tell the difference between the voices? Because the ego is clever. It's a genius. Why? Because it's a part of who you are, and you're genius. And the ego will do things to keep us at status quo, which is down here, right? But there's just something within us that wants us to shine, that wants us to grow, that wants us to be the best us that we can possibly be. So how do we tell the difference? By the way it feels. The ego will feel different. And the difference usually for me, now this doesn't mean that it happens for you. You will find your own way. You will feel it in your own way. But for me, as an example, that guidance from Spirit, it is strong and it is sweet. The ego usually comes from a place of fear. And I can feel that fear. I can feel that fear from right in the middle of my solar plexus. And it is so beautiful to be able to differentiate between the two. And when that ego starts to speak, you get to go, oh, look who's here. And you get to love it and then set it on its way, right? And then we open up and allow Spirit to guide and direct us in beautiful and loving ways. Take the time to play. Take time to play. That's so important. That's what I love about watching kids. Kids are always in this playful mode. And then what happens as we start to grow up, we lose that sense of play. Okay, we bury that sense of play. We don't ever lose it. It's just sometimes with some of us, it gets buried so deep that we forgot how to play. Man, I'm giving you permission to play. Go out and play. Go out and skip. Go out and laugh. Please go out and laugh. It's time to have some fun. We have been in this crazy thing called life over the last 18 months, and all of the stuff that's been going on with coronavirus, right? And we get to do our prayer work knowing only perfect health, wholeness, and well-being. And then play. Play with words, play with drawing, play with whatever comes up, play music, play. Laugh, man. Laughter is such a beautiful, beautiful expression of spirit. That God so loved the world that it turned upon itself, clothed itself, and then named itself you, and is having a joyful time experiencing life through you. How cool is that? Life is so very good. So, to conclude what can't be concluded, take the time to pause for the guidance. Take time to engage in the playful pause. So, because as you do that, Spirit gets to be glorified through you. Spirit gets to shine through you. Spirit gets to show up as you. I think that's a beautiful thing, don't you? Let's pray. Infinite intelligence. Father, Mother, God, Lord God Almighty, holy, infinite best friend. I give great thanks for this opportunity to speak this word, recognizing first and foremost that there is this infinite intelligence that permeates itself, that reveals itself, that represents itself in, through, and as all of life. I speak this word from a place of knowing first and foremost that this which I call God is at the very center of all of life. And that all of life is at its center because there is no circumference in this thing which I call God. And it is the very nature of this infinite intelligence to permeate and to penetrate and to fill the interspaces of the universe, meaning that there is no space where God is not. The space in the room that you're sitting in is filled with the vibration of spirit, the frequency of the divine. Oh, how grateful I am to know this, that knowing that God is everywhere present at all times. I know that at all times God is present right where I am. For there is no place I can go where God is not. That's impossible because I am created in the spiritual image and after the spiritual nature of the divine itself, meaning that God is revealing itself in, through, and as the I am that I am. And as I know this to be the truth of my life, this is the absolute truth of each individualized expression tuning in today. Right here, right now, God is, we are. And so it is in my awareness of our oneness in God that I speak this word into being. I declare that as we take the time to pause for the guidance, that we are open, receptive, and available to hear what that guidance is. And then we are absolutely willing and able to step out into the guidance when it is time for us to do so, knowing that we are supported fully and completely, knowing that there isn't anything that can keep our good from us. Therefore, we take a playful pause, taking the time to play, taking the time to laugh, knowing that as we do that, that there is a vibration that attracts to us all that we desire. I declare this to be so. So knowing that this is already done, for this and for so much more than my eyes can see, for this and for so much more than my ears can hear, for this and for so much more than these words can ever possibly convey, I remain forever grateful and thankful. It is from this place of gratitude and thanksgiving that I release my word now into the beautiful and dynamic activity of love and law. You see, I know that as I release my word into the law has no choice. It cannot help itself. It must take these words and mold them and blend them and mend them and shape them and then return them back to us, not void or empty, but absolutely and completely fulfilled. And so fulfilled, we declare it to be so. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Peace and abundant blessings. I'll see you soon.
going to ask that you stand up. We let it be?
That's what the slide says.
Okay. Let us obey.
Whatever you want.
How about we all stand up while I avoid temptation?
We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the grace wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let wash over us. We let it be. We let the grace wash over us. We let it be.
Well, thank you. And I'll ask that you be seated. As within that grace, we offer up the spiritual practice of sharing, of sacred giving. If this service, if this center is adding to your life a way to let the universe know you want more of those experiences in your life, is to give of your energy to that. And in this culture, in some ways, that means the energy that we have decided is what represents our heart's desire is sometimes money. Now, it is also sometimes volunteer work. It is also sometimes from our great talents. Today, in this moment, I invite you to consider supporting the center. If you are physically here, there is a gold spangly abundance box that is on your left as you walk out of the sanctuary. You can also give online, either through the donation page on the website, or you can text to tithe, and there are instructions as well. But the first step is to take that pause and make this a sacred act. So take your gift and hold it over your heart. If yours is not to give something physical today, I ask you to put your hand over your heart, knowing that it is your consciousness that makes this sacred. And so together we make this sacred by saying, divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, life, and thank you for being up here already.
I'm connected to it all. 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 Yeah, I'm connected to it all. 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 This body is healing. This mind is believing. I've made friends with grieving, and I'm connected to it all. This body is breathing. This heart is receiving. I've made friends with believing, and I'm connected to it all. And now I become one with the one. Say goodbye to the hiding. Peace and love are colliding. I've made friends with flying, and I'm connected to it all. But when the feathers start fraying, there is comfort in praying. I've made friends with staying, and I'm connected to it all. And now I become one with the one. And now I become one with the all. There is peace within this here and now. 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 Ooh, 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 ooh. This is your part. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You can't do it wrong. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This body is healing. Time is revealing. I've made friends with feeling, and I'm connected to it all. 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 I'm connected. I am connected. I am connected to it all. Yeah, I am connected. I am connected. I am connected to it all.
So I looked over here at Celia because I was so enjoying her music, and the note I see on Jackson's stand over here is Celia Farron owns the stage, a quotation from Ricky Byers. For those of you who don't know, she's a muckety-muck. She is our maven of music, and has great respect for our Celia, as it should be. So, couple things. This is a pregnant pause, not a playful one, but that's okay. So, a couple things you should know. Melissa Felipe and Z. Egloff, both of whom are ministers within our movement, will be here doing the service on September 12th. This is huge, guys. We sing their music during service often. If you don't know who they are, please get onto YouTube and check them out. They're amazing ministers in their own right. They're also going to be teaching a class on the Enneagram. It's a 5-hour workshop that costs $49. We need 10 people to show up either online or in person to have that class go, because that's the level they're at. So please, it's already set up so that you can register by paying that $49. If we have 10 people, then that will go, and it will be an amazing workshop with snacks in the middle, because, it's us. Something else you should know is that there was something else really important. I will tell you next week. Ha! Now you have to come back. If you are here for the first time, we would love to welcome you. And this is where nobody's allowed to elbow their neighbor. But if you're here for the first time and you are willing to, if you're in the building physically, we ask you to stand. Just say who you are and where you're coming from. If you are online and somebody can check our online stuff, please just put something into the chat right now, letting us know you're out there so that we can welcome you too. Hi. Wonderful, Joyce. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, I'm Victoria. And I'm Wolfgang. And we're here from Sedona.
Anything from... Okay, hi.
Hi. Teresa Ortega. We are having our second home build here in Prescott Valley.
Wonderful. Great. All right, anyone online? Okay. So could I please get somebody to go check on the kids and see what's up? Thank you. We are seeing more and more breakthroughs with the Delta variant. The board will be discussing it. If you have a strong opinion one way or the other, please find a board member to share that with. We do much better at making good decisions when we have input from the congregation. In the meantime, especially if you are not vaccinated, that is a personal choice, and we ask that you wear a mask if you are here and not vaccinated. You are responsible for your well-being. You are absolutely in control of your own body, and we celebrate that and offer you a safe place in which to make that decision one way or the other. Just like Eugene said, I'm not the boss of you, so I can't tell you what you're going to do. I've also heard him say, you can't tell me because I'm grown. So, and that is his favorite groaner joke. All right, and we have children. Yay! Skipping. How cool is this? We just talked about that. Hello. Your to-do list. Be awesome. Eat, sleep, play, be awesome. That is a good to-do list. So what do you guys want to share? Hold on a second. Let's see if this is on. Yep. Maybe? There you go.
So today, we basically just followed spirit and emptied our minds and made up so that we just made kind of a random drawing, like trusting spirit to guide us through.
So you did a drawing and let God guide your hand.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else we need to know about, guys?
Oh yeah. Wait.
That's okay. So we talked a little bit about playfulness and the importance of bringing playfulness into our lives and all of the good, positive things it does for our experience of the world. As we move through with a playful, positive experience, we get to see the world through that lens.
Beautiful. So, for the past 3 weeks, this is week 4, I believe, we have been doing a prayer that the kids wrote, and we've been saying it out loud together. This is our final week of doing that. I know it looks like Seamus is still standing tall and small but mighty in this group. We actually have had a lot more kids show up. We don't require anyone to get up on the platform ever. I just happen to like it up here.
So does Seamus.
So does Seamus, yes. Well, and then there's that. So I'm going to ask you to stand. We're going to do this prayer one last time together. If you would like a copy of it, you can just pick one up on your way out on the table on the right that also has the extra masks and so forth. If you are online and would like a copy of it so that you can continue to pray up the youth group, please email the office and we will be very happy to send you one. So, Kid Minister, start us off.
We absolutely recognize that it is all God. God looks like happy faces, play, and friendship. It sounds like laughter and singing. Spirit is also connection, warmth, joyfulness, and love flowing in, through and around everyone and everything. Because God is in everyone and everything, all beings everywhere are connected in spirit. We embrace our oneness with smiling faces and happy voices. We are love in action, building trust through friendliness, understanding, helping, caring, and sharing. We learn to accept ourselves and others with love and compassion. As we practice these qualities, we radiate them to our greater community. We let go of what we think our youth and family program should look like and open ourselves to experiences of value and awesomeness that families seek. This good we create for ourselves, we create for all beings everywhere. Our hearts sing songs of thanks as we release this prayer, knowing it is already answered. With confidence and trust, we affirm our prayer by saying, "And so it is!"
Well done, sir. So at this time, we're going to do our benediction. Many people like to hold hands during this. If you are not comfortable holding hands, please just cross your hands over your heart to indicate that, and that way you get to make your own choice. We will do our benediction and then sing our way out with the peace song. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is happening through my mind, my body, and my affairs. I think it, I believe it, I feel it, I know it, I accept it. Thank you,